Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Time for Papa's comic books, coffee, and more. Hey there, Papa's Posse. Don't forget about that QR code. Take you to my eBay, YouTube, and Instagram page. Well, welcome back, Papa's Posse. It's Papa's comic books, coffee, and more. And today we have Action Comics Superman, starring in Action Comics number 574. This book was 75 cents back in 1995. Title of the story, May the Best World Win, by Craig Boldman and Dave Hine. Now, let me see. Who's that Dave who? Dave Hunt. There you go. Now, before we begin, don't forget this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Did you ever get that feeling that you were being watched? Perhaps. Look at that. If you looked quickly enough, it's actually a drone. You could find out for sure. That strange camera device looked positively unearthly, which means that it probably wasn't looking for Clark Kent, but Superman. And in a blink of the mind's eye, to whom do I owe the pleasure? Forgive me, Superman, I hope to introduce myself with a bit more dignity. I am Lord Chancellor of the planet Ostak. You said Ostak? It's over. My brilliant career is over. It's been ages since I've turned in a major story. My public is forgetting about me. Looks like the old Olsen luck has bottomed out at last. Or maybe not. Looks like a story brewing right outside my window. Superman's always news. Now, let me get this straight. You sent this camera transmitter to Earth to challenge me to an athletic competition, pitting you against our planet's champion. You realize that on Earth, I have powers and abilities which were unheard of on Krypton. Yes, but since our gravity and sun were identical to Krypton's, our athlete has been the same powers. Rest assured, you will face a worthy opponent. He's listening with a cup. The idea intrigues me, but my other duties. You will be competing for Krypton's honor and Earth's as well. Please consider our proposal. I will contact you soon for your decision. Now, Jimmy Olsen. Hi, pal. You talk and I'll write. What's this about a contest? Oh, well, I guess I can't hurt to fill you in. Ostak is a planet in Krypton's solar system, though our orbits kept us on opposite sides of the planet's red sun. Its people had long been obsessed with sporting competitions of every sort. With the advent of space travel on Ostak, they took their games to the stars, challenging champion athletes from other planets. Eventually, they came to Krypton, but Krypton's and Ostak's competitors performed equally well. The games ended in a dead heat, the first time Ostak ever failed to achieve a clear victory. Rad Zonan, the Ostak champion, proposed a rematch for the following year to break the stalemate. But by that time, Krypton was no more. With Ostak's recent discovery of Superman's existence on Earth, hopes there have been raised that the rematch can at last be held, with Superman as Krypton's champion. The Chancellor of Ostak has proposed that the tie-breaking series of events be held on Earth. That dignitary is now awaiting Superman's approval of the plan. In the days which follow, great Scott, Jimmy, what did you do to earn all this mail? There are letters from across the globe, all urging Superman to take up the Ostak's challenge. I had no idea the public would go for that sort of thing. Of course, the Earth is proud of Superman. Why shouldn't we show him off? And later, thanks for lifting Superman. Yeah, but shouldn't you be training? You pump nothing but school buses. You'll never get in shape for that Oshkosh guy. I'd have felt uneasy about taking the time away from my normal duties, but everyone's behind me on this. Superman, have you reached a decision? Yes, I have. Bring on your champion. Yay! Yay! And so, In the weeks since the announcement, it seems that the entire planet was caught Superman fever. And so, a special panel of scientists appointed by the UN has been charged with the task of devising a series of globe-spanning contests worthy of superpowered opponents. And so, the crowd is electric with anticipation as Superman waits to greet his counterpart from the planet Ostak. But so far, wait, people on Earth and Superman. I extend the warmest wishes of the people of Ostak, and we of Earth welcome you, Rad Zonan. I am the Ostak champion who competed in the previous undecided contest on Krypton many years ago. My elders have granted me the chance to redeem myself. Please accept my sorrow at the loss of your native planet. I was traveling to Krypton to stage the original rematch when the great catastrophe occurred. I see you've mastered the English language. Yes, my training has been very thorough. Superman, you look lost, worried. This guy'll leave you in the dust. I just noticed something odd. No, I must be mistaken. Well, gotta get going. Big day tomorrow. Mistaken? Fat chance. It's not that, Jimmy. Superman's never mistaken. I can read him like a book, and this whole setup suddenly smells like a dead fish to him, which means another front page byline for Jimmy Olsen. And finally, the big day. This is Lana Lang at Metropolis Stadium. A standing room only crowd awaits the opening of today's games, since the contests will take our competitors to places which would be inaccessible to Earth's technology. We will view the events through these robot cameras, courtesy of Rad Zonan. They will beam the action across our globe and to Ostak as well. The contestants have entered the arena, and the president himself is ready to announce. Let the games begin, and may the best world win. Our first event is a track and field contest, unlike any stage before on Earth or off. Because our contestants' leg muscles are more powerful than rocket engines, Superman and Zonan are literally leaping for the stars. More precisely the moon. My opponent seems up to the task. We're forbidden to use our flying powers in this exercise, and must depend upon the moon's gravity to swing us back toward Earth. Thanks to that robot camera, we don't miss a second of the action. Look, Superman's applied his own legal burst of speed to break free of the lunar orbit and return to ground zero. Yeah, and the alien is right behind him. The Ostak tabulator approved by both contestants is the official judge of our contest. It digests data transmitted by camera. Superman has leaped over 238,860 miles to his first win of the Krypton Ostak games. Congratulations, my friend. Thanks. But if our computerized judge weren't so finely calibrated, we'd certainly be looking at a split decision right now. As the new morning dawns, we find that games are being played elsewhere as well. Dr. Janet Clyburn. Yes, oh, Jimmy Olsen, come on in. Note, Star Lab Scientific Technological Advanced Research. I was just about to tune into the big competition. That's why I'm here, Dr. Clyburn. I have reason to believe that Zonan might be up to something. But I don't know the hows or whys. With the sophisticated equipment at your disposal, I can examine the proceedings, check for any funny business. Next morning. Ready? The sight of the laser will be your signal to go. Today's race is not a test of speed, but of accuracy. Each contestant has 1 hour to the microsecond to circle the Earth on foot. The predetermined course will take them through such points as Wichita, Kansas, and Los Mochis, Mexico. Both my rival and I encompass the globe many times a second, but in this event, finishing early counts against us as much as finishing late. No timepieces are permitted. We must use our own mental clocks to remain on schedule, a task made more interesting by the variety of obstacles in our paths. This ocean called Pacific, for instance. I wonder how my rival is doing on his route. Paris, France, one of my favorite cities, but not at rush hour. And the metro tracks might be my best bet for avoiding the mess. Oh, some hoodlums participating in their favorite sport. Ideas dos homer falling. pushing people onto the tracks. Empeñarse a escuela, ¿quién va? Don't stop them, somebody. Got to take time out to help this lady back onto the platform and escort these punks out. Bonsoir. I don't know where you were heading on the subway, but by the time you find your way there from the French border, I hope you'll have lost your taste for mischief. Quesadilla, what happened? And soon, participants are in the closing moments of their run. It's over. They've crossed the laser beam finish line. But who won? They're both blurs. Superman was slow by 1 tabulator degree. That ties up the score. My Parisian incident must have thrown me off my timing. Thereby, Jimmy Olsen and Dr. Clyburn checked for any funny business. Found anything irregular, Doctor? I made every type of test I can run from a long distance. Zonan's body seems to emit a strange type of energy. However, it doesn't seem like anything that could have affected Superman. Let's keep at it. I smell a big story here. As the contest resumes, look, they're about to begin the diving competition. Diving? But where? Nowhere. Near water, Lana. Gentlemen, as soon as you've located your target with your X-ray vision, kindly secure your special blindfolds. We are watching the athletes dive from the Metropolis Stadium to the designated spot off the Atlantic coast. But that is only the beginning of this spectacular event. In the minutes that the competitors are out of sight, our robot cameras will race to meet them in a spot that they are expected to re-emerge. Not in the Atlantic Ocean, but at a target point in the Indian Ocean, just off the Cape Luana, Australia. A 7,927-mile dive, the successful completion of which called for our contestants to bore clean through the earth. An incredible feat on both parts, but the tabulator gives the diving event to Superman by a hair for accuracy. It's been a long week for both participants as Superman and Zonan approach the final event with an equal score. One question is on everyone's mind. Will history repeat itself today? Unless this final contest results in a decisive victory for one side or the other, the Krypton-Ostak games will once again end in a tie. And the contest has begun, folks. If this scene lacks the action of some of the previous events, it's because these two irresistible forces have suddenly become immovable objects. What the camera cannot convey are the tons of pressure being applied by Superman and Zonan. In fact, it has been predicted that if either opponent gives at all, the movement will be so slight as to be undetectable by the human eye. The slightest motion, the merest falter on either side will result in an alarm from the tabulator signaling at the end of the games. Jimmy, something is happening. Let me see. The tension mounts. The crowd is breathless. And the final moments wait. The sounds means we have a winner. Have a winner? Is it Spider-Man? Mr. T? Who could it be? Let's find out. People of Earth, the winner of the event and the Krypton-Ostak games is Rad Zonan of Ostak. I can't believe our man lost. Believe it, Superman is presenting the winner with his trophy, Krypton World Flag. Please excuse my hasty departure, Superman. Thank you for this opportunity. Say no more, my friend. Krypton salutes you. Superman, stop that alien. We have startling information. Dr. Clyburn's device detected a powerful burst of energy from the alien's body, which very possibly altered the tabulator's final reading. Interesting, but I wish you hadn't said that, Jimmy, since it forces me to reveal all I've learned about Zonan to remove any suspicion that he was being less than honest in our contest. I, too, had my doubts. When I heard Zonan's voice, my super hearing detects that his voice and that of the Chancellor who prompted this meeting are one and the same, meaning Zonan was posing as the Chancellor. My first thought was that the games were a smokescreen to conceal some sinister purpose. I quickly slipped away to do some investigating. I used equipment from my fortress to tune into some of on his home planet, but I couldn't have been prepared for what I found there. Ostak is a ghost planet. Deeper exploration uncovered the story behind its tragic fate. When Krypton exploded, one of the after effects was a series of radioactive solar eruptions, and one of the bursts of radiation poisoned Ostak's people and environment. Ironically, only Zonan escaped his planet's fate because he was journeying to Krypton at the time of the radioactive bombardment. He returned from the witnessing Krypton's destruction to find that Ostok too was a dying planet. He didn't know how long he would live as the sole survivor of Ostok, passing time by tinkering with a world of abandoned technology. He learned of my existence somehow and planned the rematch, perhaps as a final tribute to his once great world. I guess he was proud, didn't want me to know his secret. By then, however, he was older and could not compete equally until he gave himself treatments to restore his youth temporarily. They would eventually kill him. I didn't let on. I gave him the competition he wanted. The burst of energy you detected was his last gasp as his supercharged body approached his terminal stage. But it did affect his readings. Superman, listen. Listen to me. According to my findings, you are the actual winner. That's too bad. Zonon has reached his home with a long-awaited trophy. Superman, did you hear what I just said? When you're Superman, what's one more victory? In the next issue, he's been dead 30 years. And that was Action Comics, number 574. May the best planet win. Hope you enjoyed that little reading. And don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Pappas-Comic-Books. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And as Papa, Zonon, and Superman always say...
That was easy.
Adios.